Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ellynwithay Goes Live. Woohoo! We are able to get live this week after quite a lot of traffic on the live streams on Instagram. We had a little bit of a drama last week, but I'm so excited to be able to go live this week and get back to my show as usual. I have an amazing guest joining me later on the show. It's your girl, Emilee Curl, is going to be joining me on the show. I'm so excited. So stay tuned for our interview. But first, like I do every episode, I just want to take a breath and set the intention. I know we're all dealing with a lot in our world right now, and I want to offer an episode that is like a distraction and fun and light, and just a reminder that good enough right now is in fact good enough, and we're all doing the very best that we can, and it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be only able to do good enough. So I needed to hear that reminder myself. So if I have to hear it, I like to pass it along because I think somebody else probably needs to hear it too. So to dive into my live talk show, which is no longer the only live talk show. All of the other shows, all the Jameses and the Jimmies across all the major networks figured out how to do their show live from their palatial estates. So they also have their shows, but I think what's really awesome is they are doing a lot of donation buttons on YouTube. So you can watch their show there, but you can also make a donation. So I welcome everyone back to the live world and doing our chat shows in the evening. So I want to just get into some hot topics. I want to just give you a couple of quick life updates. So first of all, I had a leak in my apartment. That was stressful, but we managed. And we're okay. Then I also have now ringing in the vent system in my kitchen. So that's slowly driving me insane. But again, we're okay. Everyone's all right. Also, I cut my finger on a lint trap trying to do my laundry because I was being productive. Also, I don't know if you know this, I am very much on my way to becoming a TikTok star. With the time that we have in the apartment, Catherine and I have taken to learning TikToks. And when I say learning, I mean smashing, absolutely killing. And if you previously were not about TikTok, I feel like there's a lot of recent converts with everyone having so much time on their hands. If you wonder what my TikTok is, it is at Ellyn with a Y, because I love consistent branding across social media. So you can follow me on TikTok and you can see myself and my roommate Catherine really breaking it down. Sarah, I love this journey for you. Thank you so much. I really feel like I'm rising to my fullest potential during this crisis. So I also think it's important. I don't know if anyone saw this. I hope that you did. And if you haven't, this is awesome. So John Krasinski launched a good news network. It's called Some Good News, SGN. He launched it. When I say he launched a good news network, he posted a single YouTube video to a YouTube account that he's calling Some Good News. And it was such a cute episode. It was shot in what looks like his office, and he, talked about the office, and he actually talked to Steve Carell, and he highlighted all positive, uplifting news about nurses and doctors and healthcare workers that are going above and beyond at this time. So obviously we have to give a huge shout out, especially to all the ones that I know and love that are currently watching and are also at work right now. But it was so good, and it was so uplifting and funny and heartfelt, and I was crying. I was laughing and crying at the same time. And I felt like he kind of hit the nail on the head with what I am doing with this show. So John, if you want to partner up, if you need a co-anchor, I've got you. But definitely go take a look at that. I think it is exactly the kind of remedy that we are looking for right now. And in the vein of sharing fun and uplifting news during a really intense time, hopefully you have caught wind of the boy in a bubble love story taking place currently in Brooklyn. Being on TikTok and the star that I am privy to these TikTok narratives. So this guy who is a photographer. He saw this girl across from his balcony on a roof, saw her, and sent like a drone over to her to give his phone number. They connected. They've been texting, messaging, having like these little virtual dates because somehow they figured out how to have Corona boyfriend, girlfriend. And now he filled up a bubble, like literally one of those like plastic bubbles, walked in it and rolled his way to her apartment so they could have a isolation date. Okay, so hot take. I feel like the love story is secretly sponsored by the Goop Girl. The Goop Girl. Oh my God, that's really funny, Sarah. So I also am like, I hope it's real because sometimes you can't believe everything you see on TikTok. I feel like someone should tell the like 13-year-olds on the app that like it's not all real. But it's a cute story and it was on the local news, which, you know, we could use anything other than the constant reporting between de Blasio, Cuomo, and Trump, and it's just like ping-ponging back and forth. It's too much, so we have to turn off the news. So light news all around. And that brings me to, so what am I doing if I'm not watching the news? Well, that means I am doing my what to watch segment, which I am currently at the final episode of a show that I'm going to recommend that you watch, Broadchurch on Netflix. It is a 3-season arc of a sleepy town in England where a murder of an 11-year-old boy takes place and they have to figure out what happened and who did it. And it's an extreme whodunit with Olivia Colman, who is actually currently playing the Queen on The Crown, Queen Elizabeth. And for anyone who is a Doctor Who fan, like myself, David Tennant plays opposite her and they are both detectives. It is so good, so gripping. I cannot recommend it more highly or higher. Grammar goes out the window in a crisis. My 8th grade teacher would be so upset. Miss Van Houten would be pissed. For those of you who are currently obsessed with Tiger King, controversial opinion, not so much. I don't know, it's kind of sad. But I love the memes. I think it's really funny. But I haven't watched it yet. Maybe I will. I haven't finished it. I watched the first 3 episodes. But if enough of you rise up and tell me I need to watch it, then maybe I will. So that moves me into my food for thought segment, which is a twofer, but it's really about food. Sometimes they're not about food. They're about food. So the first one is everyone is baking bread. Everyone. Every time I open Instagram, somebody else has figured out a new way to bake banana bread. Whether you're making it with ghee and almond butter, or whether you're making it with just like the 50 rotten bananas in your freezer, everyone's making banana bread, and then they're baking sourdough bread, and they're baking all kinds of bread. I mean, I even went to the market, we saw fruitcake. Like, who's even making fruitcake right now? Like, nobody wants it when it's out in the first place. So I just feel like we've reached the apex of boredom and a need to be productive, and that equals lots of people baking bread. So maybe it's not clear, but that's not happening in this apartment. We're out here. Well, we baked brownies. We baked brownies. But yeah, no, we're not baking bread. It's a little bit too time consuming. But that also made me think a lot of, and I was talking a little bit to Emilee about this earlier, is the idea that these, like, you have to go out and get those ingredients at the supermarket. And supermarket runs have become these very special, intense experiences. I feel like, yes, for us, but I'm sure a lot of other people can relate to this. So you gear up to go on your supermarket run because you're not going all the time. You can't just like pop down because it's a process, right? So you have to put all, get dressed. You have to get your outside shoes and your outside clothes and your outside jacket. And you also kind of want to look a little bit okay because you're like commingling with your neighbors and like, could we all have a COVID boyfriend in a bubble? Who can say? But you get kind of cute because you don't know who's going to be there. You go down to the supermarket. You walk, well, if you're in New York, you're walking there. So it's like a very rare excursion and with like a purpose other than just walking by, just walking to walk. So you go into the supermarket, you see who's at the counter, just check to see if the cute guy at the counter is there. Then you're going and you're shopping, and the second that someone gets too close to you or you see them coming at you and then you're going towards them, it's like this weird, awkward social standoff where we're not looking at each other in the eye because for some reason, actually making eye contact, I feel like we all think we can catch corona that way too. You can't. So you're at the store and you're seeing all these people coming close to you. The second they get within 6 feet radius, everyone, like their horns come out. We're all like looking at each other, judging who has a mask, who has gloves, who doesn't have gloves, like who's out here touching fruit twice. I'm sorry, I know that we're not supposed to be using the plastic bags and like we're supposed to get rid of them, but like you take the plastic bag and that's how you touch fruit to see if it's okay. All right, PSA, do not touch the fruit. And if you pick something up, just buy it. Just buy it. Don't put it back on the shelf and then donate it or give it to like a homeless person that is nearby your home if you live in New York City. So that's like the intensity of going to a supermarket. And then you've done all of this, you've bought all of your things, you've brought it back to your home, and then you have to clean and wipe down everything that you've purchased. It adds like 20-25 minutes to the whole process. So it's just this, it's this like love-hate relationship of like being grateful to have something to go out and do and have like a purpose to the activity. But then also it is so time consuming when you come home and you have to like clean it all. So I don't know, double-edged sword. I still like going to the supermarket. It's super fun. Everyone is saying we love a cute guy at the counter. Yes, Sarah, yes. The cute guy is Catherine's boyfriend. Yes, it is. We're working on it. I'm doing the best I can. So that's my food for thought, which brings me into the guest portion of my show.
Ellyn!
Hi!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I have to say, I'm glad we talked about the supermarket run because obviously I went today and I'm just now learning to cook. So this quarantine time has been good for me because I feel like now I'm a master chef.
Yes!
I make eggs, I make pasta, cereal. There's no stopping me.
I feel like so many people are saying that they're becoming much better chefs because of this predicament that we are in. So it's our girl, Emilee Curl. You guys,
when you said that in the intro, I about died. I loved it.
Yes, I love it. I am a girl who loves a signature catchphrase, Ellynwithay. I mean, I love it. So hand motions and all.
No, I love what to watch. I was like, that's good.
Yes, I love it. So you were supposed to come on this episode right after the iHeart Radio Awards. So Emilee is the digital host for iHeart Radio, and you were going to come on. This past weekend was supposed to be the iHeart Awards. But because of the crisis that we're in, it was converted into a iHeart Living Room concert hosted by Elton John.
It was honestly unbelievable. I mean, the team did such a good job to pivot. I mean, obviously it was crazy because we've been planning the iHeartRadio Music Awards like since I started in January, and I was so excited and I was gearing up, but obviously we didn't see any of this coming. But they pivoted in such a way that they made such a beautiful special. Yeah. And it was so neat. I feel like we saw, I mean, Elton John hosted, which was obviously sick. And then to have like him Skyping in Lizzo, I mean, and then you have Lady Gaga. I mean, it was such a cool lineup of people mixed in between actual real people sending in videos of what they're, you know, where they're working, what their current state of life is like. And so it was like really exciting to see all of that together. And like we talked about earlier, it was so intimate. It was so stripped down. So we saw inside people's homes how they perform just acoustically, like Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. I mean, it was cool to get to see.
So comfortable and intimate, that setting.
That was a sexy performance. I was like, wait a second.
Yes.
Sexy for a good cause. I was down.
I love it. And it's obviously it's unfortunate, but it's incredible to see a team be able to pivot so quickly and make something to entertain, because we're in a time where, you know, and I feel it, I'm sure you feel it, where you just want to help people take their mind off what's going on. There's so much news. It's so intense that it's like, if we can put out anything that's fun and light and spreads joy, then that's a great thing too.
Totally. I mean, because I think about it personally. I do have a news limit, right? Of like, I want to stay up to date. I want to be aware. I want to know what's going on. But I also like want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And I found that when I consume so much, I can spiral really quickly. So I like to have the breaks in between. And it's been fun. We were talking earlier. iHeart sent me all of this equipment to build an in-home studio.
Yeah. So can you explain to us? So like, you're a digital host. What does that mean, and what does that look like as working from home?
Right.
So
before all of this, it's been such a blast. I've been there 3 months now, And so we would go in, you know, we would do artist interviews. We have these things called live sessions where artists actually come in and they play acoustically to all the employees working there. And we do a lot of social takeovers, a ton of fun stuff. And sometimes up to 3 a day. So we were meeting so many artists. It was crazy. It was fast. And then obviously all of this happened. And so we were like, well, how can we pivot and still get artists involved? Because as you've noticed, like people are still dropping their albums, they're releasing music. And I think we need that now more than ever. So iHeart had sent me all of this stuff, a timer, I can't go past 10 minutes. So I have a stopwatch timer. I have my ring light. They set up my room. I have an Ethernet cord. I learned what an Ethernet cord is. And then so we've been doing these FaceTime interviews, but it's so interesting, Ellyn, because typically when you do an interview, say in a studio, they come in with their team, and their team can be anywhere from 3 to 10 people. And then we have our team of myself, producers, there's shooters, there's, you know, other people helping out. So in a given room during an interview, there could be up to 15 people watching. And so and then the cameras are on, the lights are on. So it's a very different environment than when someone's FaceTiming me. It gets so intimate. It's just me and the other person.
Which
so
is like really, you know, if you kind of like take yourself out of the situation, it's here you are in your home, in your apartment, FaceTiming with like some of the biggest names in music. I mean, it's really incredible.
It's wild, and it's been a blast. But it's funny because everyone is just so human right now. I think that's what I realized. It's like we're all at home, which is nice to know. I mean, we're all in this together, and to see like them just chilling in their, like today we had AJR and they were just chilling in their bed. Like, we're writing songs, we have so much time, and they're making TikToks with their dog. So it's funny. I mean, it's just like really nice to see that like everyone that's still like being like, okay, how can we make this a little bit better for other people? And especially artists, I think they're itching to get their music out and to feel connected. So it's been fun to play a small part of that.
Are we both reaching to wave to people on our?
I was saying everyone is doing. Hi guys.
It's so good to have someone who like is exactly knows what's going on. You're like, we're just gonna engage. I love it.
This is so fun.
I love it. So part of working at iHeart is just so awesome. Like I think a lot of the times where you work, you absorb everything by osmosis. So working at Refinery, I felt like I was able to really absorb a lot of like positivity and like female empowerment, which is really awesome. And I think with working at iHeart, you have your finger on the pulse of music that's happening now, and especially with everything going on, you know, what are some new artists, who are some people that we can support now that are, you know, maybe not getting the reach that they could be getting if this crisis wasn't happening.
Totally. I think the one thing that I've seen so much when we're interviewing these artists is they're continually trying to connect still with their fans. And I forget who I was interviewing, but someone said recently, they're like, I've read every single comment.
Wow.
And they were like, I was like, wow. I mean, they typically don't have the time.
No.
But how nice that like they also want to feel connected. So I think honestly, at just a basis level, like showing them love, that you're still streaming their music, you're still there. And I mean, we see artists like Jessie Reyez drop her new album, so did Dua Lipa. They're so good, by the way. They're so fire. So I think it's nice to just see that these artists are out there and we can continue streaming their music. We can continue interacting with them. And I think at the very basic level, that's an easy way that still is like something enjoyable for you to do too at home.
Yeah. And speaking of artists, I saw that, I think his name is Conan Gray from TikTok. He released, and I know you like TikTok as well. He released an album too.
I love him. His song, The Story, is one of my favorites.
I'm afraid that's just the way the world works.
Oh my gosh. I was listening to the whole album and I was getting goosebumps and I was like, oh my God, it's a kid. But I know TikTok is producing some pretty good creatives.
They really are. And too, I found that on TikTok, which I've been on so much right now. I've been on hours a day. But I found a lot of new music that I didn't know before that I've been listening to that people are like trending songs to. Oh. I love the song What's Poppin', Jack Harlow.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
I love it. Woo! I love it. I love when a new artist blows up. I love when an artist who you would never expect or a song you have never heard before blows up. It's so fun. And we actually have a playlist going here. All the new songs that we're hearing on TikTok, we have it. It's called Social Dis Dancing. And it's our social dancing playlist. So you guys can follow. That's on Spotify.
I love it. You know, it's actually crazy too, Ellyn, is I interviewed, this was a couple weeks back, I interviewed Trevor Daniel, and his song Falling was a huge one on TikTok that everyone was doing.
My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw...
And when I asked him about it, I was like, it's so crazy that, you know, this has sort of had a resurgence. And he had released that song a year prior. And it was like his first song coming out. And then he was like, all of a sudden I woke up and he's like, and it blew up.
Oh.
And now he's dropped an album. He was planning on going on tour. I'm not sure where that landed, but
yeah.
I mean, it was really wild to see that like this song a year after on TikTok to come back was so cool.
I love that. I love that. I've told all of my artist friends, I'm like, you need to be putting your music on TikTok and just making songs. My friend who came on the show, Pete, Tattoo Money, his music was on the On My Block soundtrack. I was like, you better be posting a song a day and be doing some dances and get it up there.
Yes.
I'm like, blow up on TikTok. I'll know you when.
Right.
So
exactly.
I always play a game with my guests, and I figured I could debut a new game because we have a musical person on the show. I couldn't have
I can't wait.
better to debut this with. So the game is Song Versations, and it's songs that you can have start conversations with.
Oh,
So, all right. So the first one is I'm going to ask you like a scenario and you'll tell me the song that fits it.
okay.
So the first one is, what is your classic road trip song?
Oh. Okay, you know actually what song I love is John Mayer, classic, but his song Dear Marie.
Oh,
Dear Marie.
oh my God, absolutely.
Tell me
obsessed.
what it was I used to be.
Oh
I'm a
my
terrible
God,
singer.
yes.
I don't ever sing. I just ask the questions.
Yeah, I love it.
But that's a
It's
good
like-
one, and I feel like that's a good song that you could also just say out loud and see
Yes.
what people react to. I've been actually going back and listening to some John Mayer albums, like his Continuum album that you just listen all the way through. So good.
Mhm. My mom bought me that like when it first came out.
Really?
And I wasn't so into John Mayer. I mean, when it first came out, I wasn't so into him. And now I'm obsessed with him. I love
Crazy.
that. Okay, we've got another one for you.
Okay.
So you're getting ready to go
Mm.
do an interview with an artist, a celebrity, right? What is your amp up song?
Oh, okay. This is tough because there's so many. I do have like a playlist that I always play, but I
Oh, I
have to
love
say,
that.
yeah, I've got a pump up playlist. But I love Money by Cardi B.
Yes.
I need the money.
Yes, yes.
So that's probably one of my favorites. Like, love it. And I feel like that one gets me riled up. But there's a couple that like any Lizzo song, I feel like any Meg Thee Stallion song.
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
God,
actually, if you've a new and upcoming rapper, also from Houston, her name's Anaya Lamise.
I put my heart on it. Don't try to stop me.
Okay.
And she has fire lines. She's so good. She's so sexy. And she's
Yeah.
also like a good for your pump up playlist.
Oh, I love that. All right, everyone, take notes.
Yeah.
Amp up songs for when you have to get outside and just go for that run.
Which I've been having to do. I'm not a runner, but I've been like going on long walks / runs.
Same. Just like I just take a lot of calls as I'm walking.
Right, exactly.
All right, and the final song versation. If you could
Songversation.
see any artist in concert during his or her prime, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Mine would be, while you're thinking,
Yeah.
would be, well, I could see them now, but I want to see Fleetwood Mac, like, in their prime.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a good one. You know, someone who I'm dying to see right now that I've never seen in concert before, but I feel like they put on a fire show is Doja Cat.
Oh, my God.
I love Doja.
I
and I
love-
think her, I mean, all of her songs are so hype, but I feel
Yes.
like that's the kind of concert you go to that you're like ready to dance, you're
Yes.
ready to get down, like you're definitely going to go out afterwards. So I feel like her right now, but to think of anyone ever, that would be tough.
It's tough. It's tough. But Doja Cat
If
is
I
a
go back
really
to my
good one.
country roots, I'd also love to see like Eric Church.
Oh, cute. I love that. Like, going to my country roots.
Yeah, to go back that way, Eric Church, Doja Cat. But
I
that's
love
a
it.
tough one.
That is such a wild
No,
song.
actually,
I
maybe
love it.
Britney Spears. I
You
think
got
Britney would be
there.
sick.
That's what it is. You got there. It just took a second.
Which, by the way, did you see Britney and Doc Ansel? Britney Spears and Doc Ansel from Tiger King? And that was
See, I
not
haven't
right.
fully watched the show, but I am consuming all the memes and I'm loving it. It is wild.
It's so good. You don't even need to like finish the show to know what goes on in there. You just know. You can see it.
I'm like, I get it. We hate Carol. Like, it's fine.
Oh my God. But I feel like everyone's going to be Tiger King for Halloween, so I'm ready for that. I'm ready for those
forward.
costumes already.
When we're allowed out, everyone's Tiger King. Well,
Exactly.
I want to say thank you so much, Emilee, for joining me. It is
Of
amazing to
course.
get back to interviewing guests and doing my show like I'm used to. So I really am so grateful that you would join this live.
Thank you, Ellyn. I've had the best time, and I'm so happy. I've been dying to be on your show forever, so this worked out so well.
You're so sweet. Well, I wish you the best. Stay well, stay healthy, and good luck. Work from home.
Thanks, Ellyn. You too. I can't wait to keep watching.
Oh, thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun having Emilee on. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this show and have everybody tune in live and be able to have my guests back and get back to kind of a regular scheduled programming. Remember, the whole point of the show is to spread joy. And if you find yourself smiling or laughing while you're watching this, I hope that you can go and share this with other people and spread that kind of a feeling, because I think we could all use it right now. So I am very grateful that you all tuned in, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. To subscribe to my channel, click here. And to watch more videos, click here. Be sure to like, comment, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a video.
Sit down, choosing heaven.